Be Better, episode 34. Back in my basement, solo. Mr. Ross is currently, he might be home, traveling back from Zimbabwe, I believe. I forget. He goes so many places, I don't remember. He had a short trip, but he should be home today. Wanted to knock out some stuff that I've been thinking about. Hopefully get to motivate you guys a little bit. Push yourselves a little bit more, give you an update on the carnivore diet, all those things. So before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by SubZeroPlunge.com. Now, you can order a Sub-Zero. You can use Be Better code for $250 off. But just talked to my brother. He's going to send me an additional unit. So if you are in my area of St. Charles, thinking of getting into cold plunging, want a cold plunge, I offer you to come try mine, and then I'll have one for sale at my house, ready to go, no shipping costs to you guys. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know, DM me. We can set up a time you could try the one I have, and I'm going to have one within probably a week sitting here ready to roll. So if you are in the area and you want one, no code needed, show up, you can purchase it directly from me, and I'll have one ready to go, and you can check mine out as well in my gym. So if that interests you, let me know, and we'll get this get you cold plunging as well. I'm about to do it probably in a little bit. Probably do about 4 to 6 minutes a day. I have it at 48 degrees, which obviously is a little bit easier than the 37, but working outside all day in 35 degrees weather makes it very hard to get in a 37-degree tub, and the benefits are the same at 50 degrees as they are at 37. So 37 I really enjoy in the summers. I like that extra push. In the winters, just to make sure I'm getting in it all the time, I have it at 48. It feels great. You feel awesome getting out of it. And it's still a nice little mental push for you to get in and out, because I always dwell on it, right? And we dwell on it. We dwell on anything. You create some sort of a scale of anxiety, right? You're not like anxious where you're freaking out and going nuts, right? But there is some scale of anxiety that it does give me, like very, very little. I'm like, just knowing that I have to do it, like, oh, I got to do it. But when I'm done with that cold plunge, God, I feel like a new man. The benefits are just amazing. And just that the feeling afterwards is like my favorite part, just the rush of the serotonin and everything. It just by far best feeling you'll ever have. And you want to try it? Come on over, hop in my cold plunge. We'll see how you do. I want to talk about, like, we've talked about this before, some victim mentality. I don't know where that comes from, if it's kind of ingrained in us, in some people from their parents, but the, oh, feel sorry for me makes you feel better. I don't really believe in the victim mentality. There's some people that have it way worse than us. You have any situation you bring up, somebody has it worse. The victim mentality is okay to feel it for yourself, right? But as soon as you start giving that burden to other people of, oh, sorry me, shit gets old really fast. The heavier load you can carry, the better off you'll be. The more responsibility you have, the better off you'll be. The more you give back to your family, the better off your family be. The more you get up, and you'll be. The more you give to your community, the better you'll be. The more you give, the more you get. The more burdens you can take on, the more responsibility you can take on. That is the purpose of life. To give more. In doing so, you all automatically will get more over time. So sitting and complaining does nothing for nobody. Sometimes it's good to vent and get it out to a partner, spouse, whatever, therapist, whoever it may be. But if there's no action behind it, you're just complaining, right? No one likes it when the kids complain, but when you're an adult and you start complaining, then it's okay, because my life's so hard, because this sucks. You need to get out of that victim mentality, if that's what you have, and push to be better. Push yourself out of, I help a lot of people, rather, with mentorship, and a lot of it is getting out of their own way. People have a hard time getting out of their own way because they're stuck in these crappy, terrible habits that they've developed over time, whether it came from childhood or whatever. You just got into this crappy routine, and you never really feel good about yourself, and everything's happening against you and nothing's happening for you. I have not a real problem, but everything that happens to me, I always make it sound like it should happen for me, right? I tore this, so I couldn't do that, which sucks, right? Maybe I tore my lats, so maybe I can't squat heavy tonight. Maybe I wasn't supposed to squat heavy tonight. Maybe I'm having a neighbor come over and squat today. Maybe I'm supposed to help him more than I'm supposed to help myself. Maybe there's a reason that happened. That didn't happen to me. That happened for me. And sometimes we always don't know what that purpose is. When it happens, you just get frustrated. I was very frustrated. I tore something in my lap the other day. Not a huge injury, probably a couple weeks. Nothing detached, nothing rolled. Just a pop, a tear in the middle. No big deal. It's really not. I've gone through this stuff before. I had a way worse one in a meet a couple years ago. This seems very minor. Still a setback. Very annoying, very frustrating that it happened to me. But now I'll take it and say, okay, how can this happen for me? Right? So similar stuff with work. With work, this year they slowed us down a lot on making more money. Our overtime is what makes or breaks us, really. And they push back a lot. So I go, okay, this sucks, right? Because it's going to directly affect my family, my finances. Okay, this is happening to me. Or is it happening for me? Am I supposed to do more with Be Better? Am I supposed to really push the next challenge? Because I'm having a new challenge in January for men and women. I really want to push that down people so they can do it. It's going to be a great challenge. I haven't worked out all the details yet, but I want to add in nutrition, add in the fitness aspect of it, a home or a gym one, either one. But it's going to be a really, really good challenge. So now that we're backing off on work, am I supposed to make this happen to me or for me? I can push this challenges more. I can do more promoting. I can get better at marketing. I could read more. I can push new hoodies. I can push new hats. I can push new t-shirts. All these things that give me joy. And working 8 hours overtime is great, but for some reason selling $100 of product feels so much more satisfying. It's just a weird thing because like you did it for yourself. You did it. You pushed the ads. You pushed the marketing campaigns. You made the product. You had it designed or had help with designing rather. My nanny went out and made the product, brought it to me. Just something about that, making $100 there versus 8 hours overtime just feels better, right? So maybe that happened for me and not to me. So that's kind of how you get out of that victim mentality is bigger picture. Is this happening for me? Is this happening to me? So something to think about when you're going through kind of something happens to you and you think this really sucks. Usually there's a greater picture involved. I recently had somewhat of a training partner, big boss man who trains at with Huck Finn. Sometimes I'll go there and bench on Thursdays. He's struggling to lose weight. He was around 400 some pounds, give or take 380, 400 I think, and now he's down to about 300. So he's down about 80 to 100 pounds. He was under 300. I'm not too sure with his last weight. I know he said he was down a pound. The previous week he was down like 4 pounds. Before that he gained like 6 or something. So he's going a little bit of yo-yoing, right? He's going up and down. So I'm trying to fire this guy up, and maybe what I've said to him will help you guys. So what I try to tell people is just you have to do it for one day. Can you string together a bunch of good meals? Maybe you're going to intermittent fast like I do. Can you delay your meal till 11? Everybody could probably delay their meal till 11. And what that does, there's a lot of benefits to intermittent fasting, but the way I look at it is I can not consume a shitload of calories before 11. And if you're trying to be in a deficit, cutting out 4 hours of eating is going to help aid to that deficit. So let's just start there, right? You're going to push off your meals till 11 or 12. You're only going to eat till 6 or 7. Okay? So now your window's shorter. Doesn't mean you should cram a bunch of food in those windows. You should have good food. But you just need to do it one day at a time. The problem is people have these big goals, right? I want to lose, boss man wants to get down to like another 50 pounds or whatever it is so he can parachute again because he was a parachuter or a parajumper rather for the military. And once he gets down a lower enough weight, he can jump out of a plane again. And it's kind of like a goal of his, right? But the goal seems so big, right? Go from 400 to 250. That's a huge goal. 150 pounds, that's a ton of weight. That's a person you just lost off yourself. So what I'm trying to explain to him is you take it in small sections. You don't take it in, I need to lose this weight in 9 months. I need to lose this weight in 2 years. I have a daunting task of losing 150 pounds. No, you take it as today, Friday. I'm going to not eat till 11. I'm going to eat something clean. I'm going to drink a lot of water. And I'm going to work out. And then when I get done working out, I'm going to have another good meal. I'm not going to drink tonight. And I'm going to go to bed early. If you can just do that every day. Sounds daunting, but if you do it one day at a time is what I'm trying to get at. One meal, right? And it happens to me too. Everybody thinks because I'm in somewhat of a decent shape, it's like, oh, it must be easy for him. It's not easy for me either. Yesterday, a couple days ago was Halloween. I let myself have some candy because lately I think I've been losing too much weight, which, yeah, I know, first world problems. But then yesterday, my Reese's Cups are my favorite, and it's just sitting opened on the counter. And I'm just walking by it like 30 times. Like, I want this candy. I want this candy so bad. Just because that's the candy I like. and I'm on this all meat diet, which should help your cravings a little bit, and it has absolutely helped some of my cravings, but that Reese's peanut butter cup is what I love. And I have to sit and tell myself, no, just you can do one more meal and then see how you feel. I did 4 ounces of beef instead of having that Reese's cup. Okay, I felt fine. Then my wife cooked me a pound of chicken, ate that, and then I didn't want the Reese's cup anymore. Just your hunger, can trick you into having crappy food. And then if you throw alcohol in the mix, you have, 3, 4, 5, 6 drinks. You really don't want to eat a pound of chicken. You want to go eat a pound of McDonald's burgers, right? So if you can eliminate some of those bad habits and just push it for one more day, one more little meal, one more hour, walk by that Reese's cup one more time, not eat it, not look at it. Sometimes it's easier too to just push it out of the way, but also sometimes I like to push myself and I have to look at it as I walk by and still have the discipline not to do it. Because the whole thing about building all this discipline is it's on you, right? It's not your wife's fault. It's not your kid's fault. It's not the food's fault. It's your fault. And I tell people, look in the mirror. Sometimes I tell them, take your shirt off, look in the mirror. Do you really like what you see? Are you setting an awesome example for your kids? Are you setting an awesome example for yourself? Is this what your kids want to be? You want your kids to look exactly like you when you get older? You need to have a hard truth on what you see in that mirror. And if you don't fucking like it, maybe you start changing it, right? Men and women have a lot of things different in motivation. When I talk about this kind of stuff to my wife, it deters her, right? Women don't really like this kind of motivation, but in my opinion, men do. Men need the hard truth. So this is speaking to a lot of men that are watching and listening. Might apply to some women. Some women, I feel like it's a more sensitive of an issue, so I don't touch on it too much because I know what works for me and I know what works for other guys because I've seen it. So take a look at the mirror. Are you giving 100%? Yesterday, did you give 100% or did you slack off? Be honest with yourself because I guarantee you weren't 100%. If you could stack those 100% days, the weight's going to fall off you. The changes you want to make are going to happen. It'll be not easy, but it's going to happen if you stick to your discipline of whatever diet it's on. Because the best diet, here's a piece of advice, the best diet you'll ever do is the one you'll stick to. So pick one and go. And if you're not giving 100%, you have no one to blame but yourself. It's nobody's fucking fault but yours. I cannot stress that enough. It's not my wife cooked this and it smelled good and I didn't want to make her feel bad so I ate it. No, that's not your wife's fault why you look like this or whoever's fault or the cheeseburger's fault. It's your fault. You did this to your body, but guess what? The beauty of it is you can also change it. You can make the discipline or make the changes rather to build discipline. You can decide I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to be overweight anymore. I'm not going to be weak anymore. I'm not going to be struggling with these things I've been struggling to, these addictions to candy or pop or alcohol. You can start to make those changes. You can push yourself every day, 1 more hour, fucking 1/2 hour, 1 more meal. And then you start stringing together those one little things over and over. Pretty soon you have a week of good meals and good sleeping and no drinking or less drinking. I'm not trying to harp on drinking. It's just more calories and you tend to eat worse when you're drinking. And then you could string together a month. And then before you know it, it's been 6 months. So people go, okay, I'm going to start January 1st. And I'm a huge fan of resolutions. I think it's a good thing. But you don't have to wait. You could start fucking today. But I have Thanksgiving. Yeah, so does everybody else. That's 1 day in the month. So you're going to give up 2 months of progress because you have 1 day of Thanksgiving and maybe 2 days of Christmas and then a party here or there. I'll give you 5 days. You have 5 off days where you're going to go nuts. I don't care about a single meal. Whole day, fucking have it. So because of 5 days, you're going to throw 55 days away. You're going to throw away almost 2 months of progress you could have had before January 1st because of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Or, again, look at yourself in the mirror, start making the changes, and give yourself something to look forward to. Okay, it's November 3rd? November 3rd. Okay, and then I have Thanksgiving, the 24th? 23rd, right? I have 20 days. What can I do in 20 days? Can I lose weight? Can I train more often? Can I drink less? Can I drink more water? Can I sleep more? Give it 20 days, and then your reward is Thanksgiving. Go nuts. You do that good for 20 days, you deserve a day off. Push yourself till that Thanksgiving day. Take it off? Great. Restart on Friday. I'm going to restart Monday. No. Restart the next day. That's the thing. We push things off as people. Oh, Monday sounds like a really good day to start my diet. Why not Friday? Why not Tuesday? Oh, Monday starts the week. I don't care. You're just giving up days because you're lazy. This is what's going to build discipline. Doing the things you don't want to do is going to get you changes you've never had before, because you do shit you never done to get changes you've never had. So start doing shit you haven't done. Start on a Friday. Start on a Monday. Today's Friday. You're listening to this now. Start today. One of the things I can recommend, I'm not a doctor, but one thing that has helped me in eliminating the bullshit that I was putting in my body was a carnivore diet. There's a lot of pros to it. There are some cons to it, absolutely. But for me, the biggest thing is you got to understand the carnivore is an elimination diet, right? You're eliminating everything besides meat, eggs, dairy, water, coffee. That's pretty much your staples of what you're going to drink and what you're going to eat. So for me, creamer is dairy. I eliminated it because I wanted to push myself to do something that I didn't like to do. I've had cream in my coffee for, I've been doing line work for about 10 years. Ever since I started doing line work, I've had cream. Never started drinking coffee until I started doing line work, and it was always cream and sugar at Dunkin' Donuts. I eliminated the cream for the first time in my life in 10 years. Cold turkey, stop. This is not I'm taking a tablespoon less every day. This is stop doing what you're doing. This is an elimination. Stop doing the bullshit. This is for obviously just the carnivore, just the diet part of it, but in general, stop doing shitty things that you're doing. So I eliminated the cream, okay? I'm going, because you can't have sugar either, so now I just do like the fake sugar. So that's been something I've been doing for 10 years, and I eliminated it. Within 6 weeks, now I don't do cream anymore. Pop. I didn't drink pop for 6 weeks on this diet. I drink probably on a given, some days I drink 1 to 3 pops a day. Diet Dr. Pepper was my go-to, had it all the time. Eliminate all my breads, right? Breads, rices, snacks. I was a bad habit of snacking because I come home, I'm starving. Instead of making a meal like I do now, I'll have like 4 eggs, little cheese, maybe some sausage or bacon. I'll go to the cabinet, or the pantry rather, and my kids have awesome snacks. So I just go eat theirs. Fill up a little bit, then wait for dinner, right? So I'm getting crap calories in before and then sometimes I have too much. Then I have dinner. My wife makes a nice, actually good, healthy meal, and I won't even be hungry for it. Embarrassing, right? So what I did with the carnivore, I eliminated all the BS, stuck to meat, some cheeses, eggs, water, coffee, and then I would just put like electrolytes in my water to give it some flavor. And it worked really well. I'm down, as of today, I weighed myself, I'm down 20 pounds, and I've done it for, I believe, 6 weeks. Let me get a more accurate day, but I believe it's November 3rd. I started, I think, right during October because I was having too many. I think it was September 24th was when I started. Yes, September 24th. So it's been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, just about coming up on 6 weeks. I'm down 20 pounds in 6 weeks because I stuck, and I still, once a week, I went out and had a burger with my wife with bun and a couple fries. Once a week, I would have maybe a donut at the apple orchard with the kids, but not 6 donuts. I'd have 1, right? Once a week, I'd go out and drink and not worry about my diet as much. This past weekend, we were at a Christmas party. After the Christmas party, went and got McDonald's because we were starving. Okay, but I had 98% of my meals for the whole week was good. The 2% I allotted myself because I am losing so much weight. First world problem. I know, I get it. But I have that weight loss because I stayed disciplined. I stuck to my elimination of the things I've always had, and I got rid of them. And doing so, I lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks. Now, how do I feel? Generally, day to day, I feel pretty good. I don't feel really too lethargic. I'm not too tired. I have noticed, though, I look really flat. To me, it makes sense because when you're doing the carnivore, you pull a lot of water out of your body. I tend to bloat really bad in my gut. I don't have that anymore. Usually when I'm sitting here, I'm probably bloated about an inch or 2 out. That went away, which is great for me because like day-to-day walking around, my gut hangs out. And I didn't really have a gut per se, like a belly. Just all that water weight was sitting there. The food sits there, and it was always protruding a little bit. So that went away, which is great. But then the fullness of my muscles, I could tell, they're flat. Like I don't get those great pumps anymore. They're decent. I am a little bit more dehydrated, so you do look more veiny. But as far as like the muscle fullness, I've can tell I've absolutely lost some muscle fullness. So I think the plan is now I wanted to get down to 195 and I was 215 when I started. I'll start adding in fruit and then some grains and see how I feel, see how I react to certain carbohydrates. So I know what I can stay away from to stop giving me that bloat, right? Because I've lost it. I don't want to all of a sudden just go back to what I did before, get all that bloat back, and then feel like crap again. Because I guarantee I could be 215 within 2 weeks, even though it took me 6 weeks to lose it. So, but I've built habits and better discipline from doing this diet. I've eliminated some things in my life. I'm not having 3 pops a day anymore. I'm not having cream in my coffee. I'm not doing all this other extra shit that I was using. I'm not having all these snacking foods. I'm eating a lot cleaner. I know I'm getting my protein intake in. I just happen to feel a little flat. And I'm excited to add some carbohydrates in to see if it helps my training a little bit. Like I said, I had that little tear in my lat. I'm not sure if that was from the carnivore, just being having less water, less electrolytes, because it is pulling out of you, even though I am pushing in more fluids these days. I'm not too sure if it was from that or not. Happens. Shit happens. It's training, right? I couldn't narrow it down if I tried, just because I do so many different things. Maybe I was training too often. I know they say within about a month of training on carnivore, if you do a lot of high-intensity training, which I usually do about 3 to 4 a week, on top of my three powerlifting days a week, give or take, anywhere from 7 to 8 workouts a week. Half of them are high intense, half of them are a little bit less intense, but more weight, less volume, more weight is pushed. That it can make you a little bit more tired and you have less energy in your workouts. I really haven't felt that, but I've absolutely felt the flatness. But getting back to just sticking to a diet, doing the diet has taught me a lot of things. I'm going to get away from it a little bit and incorporate more foods, like I said, to mix it up and see how we feel off the different carbohydrate sources, because I really haven't had carbohydrate sources on a daily basis for 6 weeks. But the discipline to do it, the discipline to eliminate some things is now going to carry on for the rest, hopefully my life, right, is I can not drink 3 pops a day, because I would drink the pop to negate the hunger, right, to fill my belly up. So now I could just be hungry for a little bit and suffer. It's okay to suffer. People they don't want to ever be hungry. That's part of, you want to be in a deficit, you want to lose weight, you have to get used to being hungry. I'm starving right now. It's 11. I haven't eaten anything. I slept in today because the whole family's been a little sick. So I got up at 6, slept in a little bit, which was nice. And I'm starving. I wanted to eat. Now I'm not going to have time to eat because I got to go get my kids. But it's okay to be hungry. If you're not being hungry, you're never going to be in a deficit. It's okay to have a little bit of hunger in you. I think sometimes I'm a little bit sharper when I'm hungrier. I don't know why. It just feels like that. Maybe I don't have like all the carbs and stuff, because sometimes you didn't take a bunch of carbs, get a little sleepy, lethargic. I don't really have that, right? Because I'm not getting a lot of carbs, one, and I'm intermittent fasting. I have been doing that for probably 8 months now, and that I feel pretty good on. So, but having the discipline to not have those things I've had before and carry on into better eating habits really worked with carnivore. So if you're struggling to lose weight, if you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see, try the carnivore. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying it's going to work best for your health situation. You should consult a doctor, because you ain't going to sue me, I'll tell you that, before you do anything. But something to look into. This is what I'm just telling you what my experience was with it, and maybe you'll have similar experiences. Maybe it'll help you guys out, give you a kickoff for starting the new year off right. Because like I said, start today. Give yourself 5 screw-off days between now and the end of the year. Get 55 good days in. Get 95% of your days that are going to be good into the end of the year. Try it. Try something else. Get out of your ruts. Have a goal. Maybe that's what people need. Sometimes people need that goal. Have a goal of weight loss. Have a goal of transformation. Have a goal of not doing something. Eliminating something out of your diet. Have that tangible goal and start working towards it. Don't just lollygag and say, I'm going to start Monday. Today's Friday. Start now. I have to go to a party Saturday. Start now. It's not that hard. Look at yourself in the mirror. Make better decisions. And start stacking those 1 decisions every day until you get where you want to be. Then change the goal up. I'm Tom Kallas with Be Better. If you want any advice, help, training, nutrition, check us out, BeBetterOfficial.com. You want the new apparel, the new hoodies, heavyweight hoodie, new black on black hat. I am about out of half the inventory already. They're going really fast. I've only had them up for sale for less than 24 hours, and I'm about halfway through the inventory. So if you want one of the hats, I typically don't remake the hats. I always do one kind of cool hat. Once they sell out, they're gone forever. The hoodies and T-shirts are now available on the site as well. So if you like what you're hearing, you want to be better, you want to live the movement of being better, doing more, mixing things up, being disciplined, trying to be a better in the kitchen, be better in the gym, be better for your family, be better for your community. If that's something you support, then please support us by buying a hoodie, buying a t-shirt. Check out all the Kallas barbell gear. Like I said, it goes quick. And I hope you guys receive this message. It fires you up and motivates you to try something else. And if you need help with any of this, DM me. I do not answer DMs. I always respond to people who reach out to me. So if you have any questions, you want a little bit more information on what stuff I was talking about that helped me personally, reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you guys about this. I appreciate you guys listening to my ramblings for 25 minutes. And of course, be better.